Monetizing your IP, your intellectual property, is the single best way to build a business online. And the reason why I say that is because I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product, doing a little over 900K by doing just that. Packaging up my IP, my intellectual property, into a digital product and creating a system. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. To whereas that system is working for me 24/7, 365, and I can get my time back and actually make more by working less. But the key is to get people into your actual ecosystem. And I've had to develop some principles in order to do that. And here's the thing, in today's day and age, everybody wants stuff fast. Everybody wants stuff now. We live in a microwave society, and everybody thinks that it's new tactics and they're searching for what is the new thing to make money online. But if you don't have solid principles as a foundation to build on, then all of that stuff is just useless information that isn't going to work for you anyways. These 5 principles that I'm going to share with you will give you that solid foundation that you can forever build on. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break it down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you're just going to build a business on some quicksand. And I'm telling you, it's going to crumble fast. And how do I know that? Well, I might be telling you some experience from the things where I really messed up on. And when you don't build with foundation and stuff crashes fast, it really hurts when your whole empire just falls on top of you, and it's so painful. You don't have to go through that pain, but if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then just enjoy inflicting that pain upon yourself. But the first principle in order for you to build this successful business online that you want to build for yourself is that you need to realize that the product is king. And this is something where I really messed up at in the past, because how it used to be was that the loudest person won, or the loudest marketer won, or the person that had the most ad budget won, because they could just run so many ads and just be so loud on all of their ads, and then they would make money from that. But if you're thinking long term, and if you're thinking of actually building a successful business instead of just trying to hit a lick with some new trendy hustle or something that's hot right now, you want to make sure that you focus on actually creating a good product, because the good product is what is going to win for you, not going and being the loudest person. Because in order to win online in your business, you need to deliver a result to somebody. You need to deliver a transformation to somebody. And all that a transformation simply is taking somebody from their current situation to their desired situation. And that is typically just coming up with a solution to a problem. So if you just obsess on coming up with a solution to somebody else's problem outside of yourself, that is why you will be able to win in the long term versus just putting something together real quick that is a piece of crap and just trying to yell real loud all over the internet that you have something for sale. And you can imitate big business and look at big, huge businesses as an example, right? Typically, something that is working for a multi-billion-dollar company will work for you if you just take something that's working for them and bring it down to yourself. So one entrepreneur that I have really studied, and a lot of his tactics have worked for me as well, is Jeff Bezos. If you're not familiar with Jeff Bezos, he created and owns Amazon, right? And through studying Jeff Bezos, I would hear the same thing coming up all the time in every single interview that I would listen to him, in all of the letters to shareholders that he wrote over the years while he was CEO of Amazon. Every year he would write a letter to all the shareholders of Amazon. And these 2 words just kept popping up. He would say customer obsession, customer obsession, customer obsession. And in any interviews, when he would talk about being obsessed over his customers' needs, you would see he would like get excited. Like he would lean a little more into the camera. He'd be like, oh man, it's customer obsession. Like he obsessed on coming up with solutions to his customers' problems. Then through studying Jeff Bezos, I realized that the main man that he studied was Sam Walton. If you're not familiar with Sam Walton, he created Walmart. During Sam Walton's time, Sam Walton was the richest man on the planet by far. Sam Walton was so rich that when he died, His wife and children then became the second, third, fourth, and fifth richest people on the planet just because he passed away. So there was such a huge gap in between him and everybody else in business. So when I started to study Sam Walton, I started to find similar things that Jeff Bezos was always saying. He would say, you got to be obsessed about the customer, obsessed about the customer. Jeff Bezos would say, customer satisfaction. I learned this through reading Sam Walton's autobiography called Made in America. When Sam Walton was on his deathbed, he wrote his whole story, how he did everything, about his life, his business, his mindset, and the psychology behind the decisions that he made. And he put it in a book called Made in America. Well, Jeff Bezos made that book required reading for all of the executives at Amazon. And if you really think about what Amazon is, it's just Walmart online. They focused on the product. And if you look at any successful person or any successful business or any successful entrepreneur, they focus on the product. They obsess on coming up with a solution to their customers' problems. The landscape in digital marketing used to just be the loudest person wins. But guess what? A lot of those people that were the loudest, their customers had a bad experience because they found out that their product was crap and that they were just looking the part and speaking the part, but they were just talking it. They couldn't walk it. So the product is always going to be king, which leads to the second principle, which most people think is the first thing that they should be focused on. Attention is the queen. So like I said, most people are focused on just getting the most attention, but you need to be focused on that secondarily. The primary thing needs to be your actual product and coming up with a good product, but secondary, attention is queen. Now, I'm telling you from the mistakes that I've made in the past. Years ago, I used to think that this was number one, and I used to focus on getting the most attention as possible. But think about this. You don't want to get a bunch of attention on a bad product. That is why attention needs to be number two. That is why attention is queen. So just think, if you're getting all the attention that you possibly can get, and then all of these people are just finding out that you're selling a load of crap, guess what's going to happen even faster? The bad word is going to spread around because you're going to have a large amount of people seeing that you're not focusing on providing a good product at all. That's why a lot of people in this online space, or a lot of quote unquote gurus, have disappeared because they only focused on getting attention and not actually providing a result to somebody or actually providing a transformation to somebody. And then that bad word traveled much faster than the actual loud word that they were using to just get all the attention. And here's another thing about getting attention, because you are going to have to drive traffic to your actual product, right? But you don't want to go and get all of the attention. You want to get the right attention. So you need to know who it is that you're actually speaking to. Because a lot of people out here are messing up because they're thinking that they need to go viral, or they're thinking that they need to get the most views, or they're thinking that they need to get placed on super huge podcasts to get interviews so millions of people can know who they actually are. But a lot of time in business, you don't need to go wide, you need to go deep. That's what she said. Because the money is going to be made in the deeper that you actually go versus going on a wide frame. So what I mean by this is, if you think that you need to have the most views, or you think you have to go viral or have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers or whatnot in order to actually build a business online, then you're going to have to be talking about broad topics. And guess what? The only products that people are going to be buying is going to be something to fix a specific problem, not a broad problem. So you may gain an audience, but you're not going to gain an audience of people that would turn into dollars for you. That's why most quote unquote content creators are really, really struggling to turn those eyeballs into dollars, because they have the wrong strategy. They're thinking content creator instead of thinking contentpreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur first that uses content to drive traffic to their actual business. That's how you really make money online in your business. And you don't need to have a large audience to do this. Everything that changed my thinking on this was an article that I read by a guy by the name of Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly wrote an article called 1,000 True Fans. The whole concept of the article is that if you get 1,000 true fans to pay you $100, you can have your $100,000 per year business, right? And then I read this other book called Oversubscribed. And in Oversubscribed, the author, he has a concept called famous to a few. Now, when he says famous to a few, he's not saying that you have to go and get famous like a Beyonce, right? But he's saying that if you can become recognizable to around 2,000 to 3,000 people, like to whereas if they saw you in person, they will be pleased. He said that you could have a successful business. So I merged the two together. I was like, okay, well, if I can get famous to a few and get my 1,000 true fans from those people that I am famous to, then I'll be able to have a successful business. But remember, it's all about principles. So I realized that I don't actually need 1,000 true fans. It depends on what you are pricing your product is. So what Kevin Kelly was talking about, he was talking about just building a six-figure business. And here's the thing about six figures also. You need to stop thinking so small, because majority of people, when they think six figures, they only think 100,000. When six figures goes all the way up to 999,999.99 cents, right? Why are you thinking so small? But for the sake of the example, Kevin Kelly, he was just saying to make $100,000. 1,000 people times $100 equals $100,000, right? But once you understand the principle, you can move the numbers around to fit whatever it is that you actually want to do. So there's this guy that I know of up in Vancouver from a small YouTube channel. When I first came across his YouTube channel, he only had about 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers. From that small YouTube channel, he had built a $30,000 per month business in a 6-month span, because he had got 300 people to buy a product from him that was $100 a month. That's $30,000 per month. It's now a multiple six-figure per month business. He did not have the biggest audience to do that. He had the right audience, and he was only making content to the right people looking for his solution. And then he was driving that traffic to his actual business. So once you understand these principles, you can move the numbers around in order to fit what it is that you actually want to do. But you need to know who it is that you're actually talking to, because you don't want to talk to everybody. Even just think about this platform that you're on right now, YouTube. You tune into certain channels for a certain specific thing. It's no different than TV. That's why YouTube is called a channel. Think of it like a TV channel. When I turn it on ESPN, I'm not looking to get any other content outside of sports for ESPN. Why most content creators are messing up is that they're trying to have their channel be ESPN, the Disney Channel, VH1, the Food Network, ABC, TNT, right? They're trying to get everybody. No, you need to be focused and know who your actual audience is, so the people looking for what you have to offer will know to tune into you for that. But it's about getting the right audience, and you get the right audience by knowing who it is that you're actually speaking to, and then actually add value to them. Don't give any fluff. I have a rule of thumb that I don't give anything away for free in my content that I know for a fact I could not make a profit from. I know for a fact that my free stuff is better than most people's paid stuff. Why? Because I know that I could package this information up in a digital product, and I know for a fact I could make a lot of money with it. I genuinely add value to people, which leads into number 4. The fourth principle is that brand trumps all. And it took me a while to really understand this. I did not used to be a brand guy. I used to be a marketing guy or a sales guy, but everything comes down to brand. Look, let me grab my whiteboard. So look, there's 4 levels of entrepreneurship. All right, you have branding, then you have marketing, then you have sales, then here at the top, you have delegation. And they go in this hierarchy of importance as well. So why I say brand is everything? Because the brand is the foundation of everything. And then you market to people that are familiar with the brand. Then you sell to people that you market to. Why I have delegation here at the top? It's because now once you actually have some income coming in your business, now you can delegate some tasks. But it's at the top because if you put the wrong people in the wrong positions, it can burn everything down really fast. How do I know this also? I'm telling you stuff from how I messed up in the past. But we're focused in right now on brand because brand trumps all. So just think about the last thing that you actually bought. Was it some marketing tactic or was it some sales strategy that got you to buy it? Or did you just know, like, and trust the brand and you made the decision to buy it because you wanted to buy it? That's no different in building your business online. And this is something that took me years to actually understand because I did not realize for so long, I was not thinking long term. I was just thinking in the now. And when you focus on building actual brand, you may not have to do so many marketing and so many sales tactics because the brand is what is going to sell it for you. Because people, we are emotional creatures. We buy from emotion and then we justify with logic. And people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So the reason why a lot of people's marketing and sales doesn't work is because they have no brand awareness. They're no different than the person in the middle of the mall at the mall kiosk. How many times have you walked past that person in the middle of the mall because you're annoyed by them? They just pop up in your face asking you to buy some stuff. Hey, can I spray this on you? Hey, can I clean your shoe? Hey, can I rub this lotion on you? You say no. And then where do you go? You walk right past them and you walk to the stores that you have brand familiarity with and that you know, like, and trust. That's the same thing here. And that's why a lot of people's advertising, not marketing, advertising, because if you're doing any advertising, that's paying for something, that's paid ads, right? So that's why most people's paid advertising isn't working because they have no brand awareness. But even if you do get to the point where you do want to run paid ads, if you have a solid brand, now you have a pool of people to whereas you can now run those ads too. Even just think about when you're on YouTube or when you're on social media. You probably click off or scroll past every ad, but what are the ones that might catch your eye to whereas you might be like, let me at least see what they're talking about? It's from somebody that you're already familiar with. And the great thing about living in today's day and age and in this time in human history is that it has never been easier as it has ever been in the entire history of mankind as it is today to make 6, 7, and even 8-figure businesses and beyond for yourself. But I'll just keep it at 6 and 7 figures because I only talk about fact. I don't speak from theory. I don't tell you what I think. I tell you what I know. And I haven't made over 8 figures online in my business yet, but I have taken it to a 7-figure level. And I'm telling you, it's never been easier as it is today to build 6 and 7-figure personal brands for ourselves because we now all have access to leverage. And since the beginning of mankind, there's always been 4 levels of leverage to accumulate wealth. And they are labor, capital, code, and media. And we all have access to media now. And how you build a successful business online is by leveraging your media, building your personal brand, and then attaching your product to your actual media. And I'm telling you, right now, today, and I'm very careful on what I say is easy to do or it's simple to do, because a lot of stuff that I say is simple, people that confuse it and they think that I'm saying that it's easy. And I'm like, no, it's simple to do, but maybe not easy. This I'm saying is easy to do. It is easy to build an audience in today's day and age. If you have certain principles or foundations and you know what it is that you actually want to do, instead of just trying to get views for views' sake or for vanity's sake, just to get some vanity metrics, if you're actually thinking business mind, it has never been easier if you just add this with this to actually build a successful business online for yourself. There's no excuses anymore because we all have access to the highest form of leverage, where in past ages when people built wealth, a lot of people did not have access to the actual leverage people were using to accumulate wealth, whereas today, everybody does, which leads to principle number 4. If you know that you need to focus on building a brand because brand trumps all, then you need to focus on a particular platform. And I emphasize platform. I did not say platforms. This ain't plural. You need to pick one platform, and you need to put all of your focus on that one platform. Because here's the thing, humans, we cannot multitask. We think that we can. It is physically impossible for us to do. And here's the thing, even about that word multitask. When they first coined the term back in the 1970s, right, they were not talking about humans at all. They were talking about computers. But humans just started doing what humans do and just coined the term for machinery, for computers, and started to use it and apply it to ourselves when we're not even capable of doing it. Plus, computers can't even multitask either. We just think that they can, but they're moving and processing so fast, but they actually stop one task completely and start working on another task. And then they stop that task completely, start working on another task. They just hop back and forth really, really fast. Even computers can't multitask. But here's the thing about your focus and your energy. You only have a certain amount of focus or a certain amount of points of energy that you can spend on something per day. And most people aren't gaining any traction on any platform because they're focused on every platform instead of focusing in on one. So, look, I'll use myself as an example. And basically, my whole channel is just stuff that I've messed up on that I'm like, hey, don't do this because I already done did it for you. Jay-Z, he has a lyric where he says, Hov did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. So I'm telling you, Aston CEO has gone through it, so you don't have to go through it unless you just enjoy inflicting pain on yourself. Then just go ahead and do all the stuff that was very, very painful for me. But look, a lot of people on my YouTube, they don't know that I have a Instagram page with over 100,000 subscribers, or at least I think it is, because I haven't been on my Instagram as of now in about a year. But once I got off of Instagram, I had over 120 something thousand followers maybe, right? And when I put my attention and focus on Instagram, my Instagram grew. And I was like, man, I need to build TikTok. People TikToking, and I felt late to the party, right? Because TikTok was popping. I hadn't been on TikTok, and I was like, man, let me go and get on TikTok. I went and I got like 13 or 14,000 followers on TikTok, like within like 3 weeks or so, right? Guess what happened? My Instagram was stagnant because I was focused on my TikTok. But then I didn't like TikTok because the whole psychology of it, you can't really build a connection with somebody because it's all about the For You page, right? TikTok is just always going to be throwing new stuff in people's faces based around the For You page. That's why you have a lot of creators on TikTok that cannot get return viewership because it's constantly going to be new people watching this stuff. I was like, man, I don't like that. And I really, really hate the platform of Instagram. I was like, you know what? I need to think long-term because these social media platforms are all stuff within the now. Think about it. The lifespan of something on Instagram is pretty much today. A TikTok post, the lifetime of something on there is pretty much in the now. I was like, but YouTube is an evergreen platform because all the people that I watch on YouTube, I'm watching videos of them from a month ago, 3 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. The number one guy whose YouTube channel that I currently watch, I watch videos of him from 3, 4, and 5 years ago because a lot of the stuff that he's making right now isn't for me, right? And I'm like, Instagram and TikTok doesn't work like that. And I need to be thinking long term because I came to the realization that I'm thinking in the now. So then I was like, man, let me make a YouTube because it's an evergreen platform. Once I put my focus in on my YouTube, I don't have the biggest YouTube right now, but since I've taken my YouTube seriously, in just this year alone, I have like 27,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel now. Guess why that happened? Because I put all of my focus and attention and energy on my YouTube channel. And YouTube is the best platform because it compounds over time also. And I'll be getting views on something that I make today years from now. And I also had to think, where are my people going to be? They're going to be on YouTube because if you really just think about how social media works, and I categorize YouTube differently from social media. Even if YouTube is technically considered social media, I don't count it as social media because YouTube is a search engine. Think about it. Google is the #1 biggest search engine on the planet. Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet. So even just think about how you use YouTube, right? You will either see something on your homepage or you'll search for something. Like you're really, really utilizing that search bar on YouTube. You're looking for a specific thing. And you are making a decision to sit down for a dedicated amount of time to watch that specific thing that you decide to watch, instead of just having all kind of random stuff just pop up in your face. So you're not getting somebody's best brain while they're just mindlessly scrolling on social media, because think about what people are doing while they're mindlessly scrolling on social media to pass the time, right? They're waiting in line, waiting on their food, they're just scrolling. A dude went to Home Goods with his girl and she's shopping around, he's just scrolling. Somebody sitting on the toilet, they just scrolling. Somebody sitting on the couch, wasting time, they just scrolling, right? You're not getting their best brain, versus when they're on YouTube, they're making a conscious decision to sit there with their best brain to take in information. It's a huge difference. So I was like, man, I would much rather have a small YouTube channel of 10,000 subscribers than 100,000 Instagram followers. So I came over to YouTube, and I'm just thinking longevity too. And something that I also realized is that audience doesn't travel. Just think about it. The people that you are subscribed to on YouTube, more than likely, you're not following them over on Instagram or something. Like, yeah, there may be a few here and there, but for the most part, it's totally different. That's why you'll see somebody with a huge Instagram following and not have a big YouTube channel, or a big TikTok following, but not have a big YouTube channel. Audience doesn't travel. But the one audience that may travel is a YouTube audience, because people, they'll lock into you, they'll get familiar with your personal brand, they'll come to know, like, and trust you, and then they'll go and look for you on other platforms to see what else that you're about. And if you look at any successful creator that may have big audiences on other platforms, it all started off on YouTube. Everything else spilled over from their foundation of long form content on YouTube. And let me grab my whiteboard again, just to give you a visual representation of this focus and energy and why it works. And anybody that you see successful in any aspect of anything, literally anything in business, they've all followed this same exact thing. Like I said, we only have so much focus or energy per day, right? And while most people aren't getting anywhere, it's because they're putting like 1 point of energy on 10 different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say that you have 10 points of energy or 10 points of focus per day. They're putting these 10 on different things each day, and that's why they can't really get any traction or get any motion or go anywhere. They just stay stagnant. Versus the people that win, they put all their energy and focus on one thing, and that's why they're able to get so far. If you study any successful person throughout history, they're all right here. They're never right there. Which leads into the fifth principle that you need to lock in on, is that you don't want to sell stuff to people in your content. You simply want to make offerings. So what most people are doing is, for one, they're scatterbrained everywhere, and then they're just begging people to buy their stuff on any platform that they have, versus just having a solution to somebody's problem and just offering them, hey, I have this for you if you want it. That's how you actually sell online, because people, they don't like the feeling of being sold to. If you just go and you ask any random person, most people say that they don't like sales. But in actuality, they buy stuff every single day. So it's impossible for them to not like sales, because they buy stuff every day. And the only way to buy something is that somebody has to sell it to you. So they actually love sales. But everything that they buy, they feel as if they just made the decision to buy it because they wanted to buy it. They don't feel as if they were sold to. Remember earlier in the video, I said that humans, we are emotional creatures. We buy from emotions and then justify with logic. So we don't want to feel like we're being sold to. We just want to feel like we just bought something that we wanted to buy. So that's why you don't need to sell to somebody or try to sell to somebody. You simply just need to make an offering. Basically, present and communicate to somebody that you have a solution to their problem and just offer them if they want it. And guess what? They'll take it and you'll get numbers coming in online in your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Join the It's Credited at the Top community for weekly coaching from myself, all of my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But I'm telling you, it has taken me years to just come up with these 5 simple principles to have as a solid foundation that I can forever build on. And I'm telling you, if you don't have a foundation and you just start to build, stuff is gonna crumble, and it's gonna crumble fast, and it's gonna hurt. And I'm telling you, it's going to hurt because I've been through the pain. And when I say it hurts, that is an understatement. You don't have to go through it. But if you just build your foundation out solid, you'll be able to build a skyscraper. And here's the thing about foundation also, because a lot of people, they don't realize that in order to go up, you got to go down. So anytime you build a foundation, first you got to dig a hole in the ground. And the deeper that you dig that hole, the higher that you can build up, right? So when you're feeling uncomfortable, when you're feeling that fear, that's digging into the ground. Right? And anything has to go down before it comes up. A bird has to flap its wings down before it can go up. A rocket ship has to shoot all that fire into the ground before it can launch up. A seed has to grow roots down into the ground before it can grow up through the ground and blossom. Even a jump, you have to bend your knees down before you can jump up. So for you to build your foundation, to build your business up, you have to dig down into the ground, and you got to get into that darkness. Right? You got to get into that darkness of underground in order to start to lay that foundation to build up. And that's that uncomfortability. That's that fear. That's that fear of the unknown. That's that digging down. And that's when most people quit, because they think that they just go up. No, you gotta go down to come up. But you don't gotta stay down. But it's part of the process. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here for 8 strategies that you can use to build on your foundation that I guarantee will work if you work it. It's credited at the top.